So, Twilight Princess: The Dusk Project is a PC port of Twilight Princess, one of two currently, being worked on by the fine people over in the Dusk Project Discord, which will be linked below. This project aims to be as accurate as possible while also adding as many enhancements as possible. It's very closed down at the moment and I wasn't able to get access to playtest the game. However, someone who did get access to playtest the game offered me the chance to learn a lot about it and get a lot of exclusive footage to show you all. That man's name is Tome Lube. Yes, that's his name. I want to say huge shoutouts to him. He's a speedrunner and his Twitter and YouTube will be linked down below. He was extremely helpful, showing me a bunch of footage, answering my questions. He even got out his MacBook while he was on the road just to send me all this footage. So huge shoutouts to him. He'll be linked in the description. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to show you is just some publicly accessible information that got buried in the Discord chat. This being the ultra wide support. It looks fantastic. Here is just footage of it that Tome Lube himself shared. Honestly, I'm not sure why you would want this game so unbelievably wide, but hey, to each their own. I'll never complain about an option that's off by default that you can turn on and off whenever you want. And options is right. This game is fully focused on giving you as many options as possible. Zelda games have never had like the most options you could play around with until like Breath of the Wild came out, but this port is looking to add everything you could possibly ask for, including a choice on where to play it. Now, I said in my last video that the Dusk Project will support iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, and Linux, which is great to see. No, it won't be on Nintendo Switch. Please stop asking in the comments. And I was a bit curious about the performance on those platforms. Now, Tome Lube did give me some bold statements, saying that he almost got 30 FPS on a MacBook when the game was running in 8K. Now, if you didn't know, 8K is the resolution. This game was not designed to even run in HD, so it running at 8K is unbelievable overkill. In fact, I'm gonna take a gamble and say I don't think one of you guys watching this video right now has an 8K screen. However, it does support 8K. And it was apparently running at almost 30 FPS on a MacBook Air in 8K. I called his bluff because I didn't believe this was a real thing. So the madman decided to send me a video of it running on a MacBook Air at 8K, 25 FPS. If there is any lingering doubts that you might not be able to run this game, they're wrong. You can run this game. Do you have a computer? Do you have phone? Do you have a potato with a screen plugged in? Chances are you'll be able to run it. It is unbelievably light. I don't even think the MacBook Air has a 4K screen, let alone an 8K screen. But either way, if you just drop the resolution down to 1080p HD, which is what most people will be running it as, I have a Steam Deck, I'm going to be running it at 720p. If you just drop it down to 1080, 60 FPS, no problem. You want proof that it can run at 60 FPS on a MacBook Air? Well, the madman sent me that too. So please, don't even worry about whether or not you can run it. It doesn't matter if your GPU is literally just a brick, a NVIDIA brick. It'll run. And it'll run well too. I mean, I might not have a great computer, but I have a 120Hz monitor, which, man, I can't wait to play Twilight Princess at 120Hz. Moving on from that though, the setup for the Dusk Project is incredibly simple. As you can see right here, I have a video of the process. You click one button, then choose your ROM, click one more button, and it'll boot up like nothing. Basically no time wasted, and all the enhancements are already there. You want widescreen, 60 FPS, higher resolutions, all a click away. Now, I kinda hope they make it easier to use for controller only for stuff like the Steam Deck, but if you need to use a mouse for the enhancements, that's perfectly alright too. It has a touchscreen for a reason. And when looking at the enhancements menu, you may have caught something, but yes, you can use cheats. These cheats range from just making the game easier to genuine quality of life improvements. With the way I like my games, I like them to be as enhanced as possible, high frame rates, widescreen, quality of life fixes here and there, but the moment you try to touch the second-to-second gameplay, or the level design or something like that, that's when I call it. So while I won't be using any of the cheats that make the game easier or just allow you to go do whatever you want, I'm very happy to have the option for people who can't finish the game, it's too difficult, whatever. And as you can see here, fully mappable buttons, just like an emulator, very nice to have. You can change literally anything you want to make it fully your own. Continuing that, a little more publicly accessible information that I did not cover in my last video because it wasn't out yet, you can can turn off that full ugly bloom that I don't think anybody likes and replace it with something a lot more subtle and less intrusive, which of course I will not be doing because I want the full ugly bloom. I love it. On top of that, Back in Time, which is one of the most famous Zelda glitches, does in fact work on the PC port. Now, if you're familiar with Back in Time, you may know it requires you to reset your game while you're playing it in order to activate it, and there's not exactly a reset button here. So how do you do it? Well, there is a reset button here. By pressing a hotkey combo of Start, B, and X, it'll reset the game, and if you do it on the correct frame, you'll get Back in Time. Obviously, I'm not going to explain how Back in Time works. It's super complicated. There's a million other videos of it. I'm not a speedrunner nor a developer, so I can't really explain, but it's a very interesting glitch, and I suggest you go learn about it. But being able to do Back in Time means this port will probably have legitimate speedrun competition, which is awesome. Lord knows I'll be there when the first Twilight Princess Dusk project speedrun happens, and that'll happen sooner than you think because the Dusk project any percent speedrun race is going to happen day one when the Dusk project releases. They announced this on the server. I will not be joining because I'm not a speedrunner, but I cannot wait to watch it all. It's gonna be awesome. I know they're trying to get like a bunch of beginners in on it and stuff, but me personally, I'm just not gonna be doing all that. Now, circling back to cheats, you can see right here I have footage of the cheats working. You can see here not infinite bombs but infinite hearts, as well as that in the bottom right the rupees are going up rapidly, and as you can see right there, he was at 25 bombs, activated the infinite bombs cheat, and now he has 30 and it's not going down. So yes, you can turn them on and off mid-game, no problem. And you can do more than just bomb cheats. Check out this. That, of course, was the no-clip cheat, which should be very interesting to players who just want to mess around and do whatever like that. If you just want to explore, go through walls, see what happens when you break the game, you can totally do all of that easily in-game. And you can even turn it on and off on the fly. So, all in all, this can only really help the game. All in all, I think the Dusk project is really cool, and I just can't wait to play it. And we'll probably get to play it way sooner than you think, because they shared a picture onto the server, which I then reposted onto Twitter, which you may have seen, which basically just says, 200 issues down, only a few more to go, which means the port is around 85% done. Now, of course, the last 10% is always the hardest, so we're probably not going to see this for a little bit, but considering this progress that's already been made, I might be wrong about that. Thank you so much, Tome Lube, for showing me all of this footage and letting me use it all. I really do appreciate it. Going forward, whenever I talk about the Dusk project, I'll probably end up using this footage, since there's so much of it and it's just very useful to have all this stuff on standby. Thank you so much, his links are in the description. Go follow my Twitter, I post updates there before anywhere else, and thank you so much for watching, I'll see you later.